This week, we'll be discussing the latest Star Wars news stories. Plus, we're talking about the best Star Wars opening sequences. All this and more taking place in the Resistance HQ.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them! Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness!
For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace, justice, and the Old Republic.
I will not be the last Jedi. The Force will be with you, always.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Hey there, Star Wars fans, and welcome to the Resistance HQ podcast, a weekly, family-friendly Star Wars podcast.
In today's episode, we're breaking down the latest Star Wars news stories and thinking about our favourite Star Wars opening sequences.
Before we start, I would just like to remind you guys to subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to us on. It really helps us out. And check out our Instagram at ITRHQ. Also, don't forget to visit my YouTube channel, ITRHQ Productions.
So let's get into it.
Yeah, and hopefully someday soon we'll be able to add Twitter to that because we're joining Twitter. Did I tell you we're joining Twitter?
No, you did not.
Well, that's what I've been doing for the last 15 minutes. I've been sitting there going, Twitter, why aren't you working? Because Twitter's just been a bit of an idiot. Because I tried to make an account on our own, yeah, and it was like, you don't need to enter your phone number. You can just verify with your email. So I was like, okay, I'll verify with my email because I don't really want to give you my phone number. And so I tried to verify with your email. I was like, okay, that's fine. I was like, oh, okay, you also need to verify with your phone number. Like, you just told me I didn't need to verify with my phone number for verify with the email. What the hell is going on? I tried to verify with my phone number. I put my phone number and it was like, okay, we'll send you a message. And then I sat there for like 2 or 3 minutes and no message came. I was like, okay, it's a bit rude. Tried again. It didn't work. So I'm a bit rude. Tried again. Didn't work. It did not send me these messages. And then, so I go back and I'm like, well, maybe I entered my phone number wrong. So I did it. I entered my phone number, but there's like a space in your phone number.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I'll put the space in because I didn't put the space in. I tried again. It didn't work. And now it's locked me out. It's like, no, you can't make an account because you've tried too many times. I'm like, excuse me, it's a fault in your system. And that was half an hour ago. I still haven't received the messages. I'm like, mate, that's a fault in your system. Why are you locking me out?
Are you sure you're not a robot?
I'm trying to join your company here. I'm trying to give you revenue, and you're just locking me out. That's just rude. So frankly, I'm a bit peeved off with Twitter right now. Twitter hasn't made me happy. But we're going to join Twitter because I don't know why we're joining Twitter. Because I guess it'd be good.
Why not?
Yeah. So some next episode, hopefully, I'll be able to tell you about our Twitter. If Twitter decides to... Yeah, it's locked me out for 24 hours. It's like, no, you can't make an account for 24 hours now. And I'm like, wow. And then I tried with my Google account. I tried with in the situ Google account. I was like, okay, you're being a bit of an idiot, so I'm gonna try with the Google account. I was like, yeah, you can make it with the Google account. Woo! So we went in with the Google account. It was like, write a biography about yourself. So I wrote like a sentence or two. I was like, okay, thank you. And then I went on, and then I went on to our account, because I would have thought we'd be asked to add like I don't know, like a handle or something. It gave us a handle for us. It was like in the Resistance, but instead of the E at the end of Resistance, but a 2. I was like, what the hell are you doing that? And it deleted that bio I put in. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then I was like, okay, well, I'll change the handle. And I was like, no, your password's wrong. I'm like, my password's not wrong, mate, because that's the one with the Google account. You never asked me for my password. That's the correct password, mate. And then I was like, no, it's wrong. I was like, okay, well, stuff you. I don't trust Google with this account. I don't trust you with this account. So I'm deleting this account. I was like, okay, you can delete this account, but you need to enter your password. Like, I don't even know my password. You've changed my password. So then I was like, okay, well, you can change your password, but we've got to send you an email. I'm like, oh, God, not this again. But then they sent me an email that had a verification code. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll just change my password. And I was like, oh, you can continue to Twitter now. I was like, yeah, I can continue to Twitter. Stuff you, I'm deactivating it. So I continued to Twitter. Then I went back on my account. Then I was like, it was like deactivated. I was like, yeah. And then I put my password. I was like, boom, deactivated. Stuff you, Twitter. So
while you're doing this,
you were playing
F1.
Yeah.
I think that is an accurate demonstration of how this podcast is run.
I'm really sorry about that elongated explanation, guys. But I'm a bit annoyed with Twitter right now. We don't like Twitter anymore. I think Twitter should take a good long hard look at itself because we're just a bit annoyed at Twitter. Frankly, I don't like Twitter anymore. I was like, I wanted to get Twitter.
It's okay.
I wanted to get Twitter for a while, and then I get Twitter. I was like, no, I don't want you to have it. Twitter's like, no, I don't want you to have Twitter. And you know, okay, now you can have Twitter, but you can't have all the stuff you want on Twitter. You can't personalize it. I'm like, wow, this is just rude. So yeah, I'm really annoyed at Twitter right now. There you go. There's your start of podcast monologue. Boom.
Great.
You're welcome. Our like 2 viewers are sitting there going, why the hell do I listen to this? Any listeners that we had that were listening there have just been
They're
like,
gone now.
I'm not listening to these 2 weirdos. What the hell is this guy on about? He's just chatting about Twitter. No. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Whoops. I do love what you said about that being an accurate representation of the podcast. Me sitting there getting annoyed at the computer trying to do work for our podcast, trying to promote it, and you sit there playing Formula 1. I'm like, mate.
Well, to be fair, these curbs are terrible. I was almost as annoyed as you are.
But wait, you're coming over here later sometime soon, and I'm going to teach you a load of stuff because like I can't keep up with this. It causes me too much stress. Do you want to know when the last time I published a podcast was? Let's look at when the last time I published a podcast was. In fact, no, stuff that we're using Google Podcasts because I don't like Spotify. Because Spotify's being an idiot, right? It won't let me pause Spotify. I go on and I'm like, okay, well, I'm walking into Nationwide now, so I want to pause Spotify because I don't really want to be vibrating to Spotify while I put money in my account. And I was like, no, you can't pause Spotify. I'm like, well, I want to pause Spotify. It's like, no, you can't pause Spotify. You know, you've got to turn off your phone to pause Spotify, so I had to power off my phone.
You got Twitter not allowing you to use it, and you got Spotify forcing you to use it.
I know. I'm like, what? Frankly, I'm not having a good day with technology today, mate. I'm not having a good day. Holy... Do you want to know when the last time we posted a podcast was? Oh, wait, hold on. Really? Did I not post episode 18? Hold on a sec. Did I not post it? Did I post episode 18? I might have forgotten to post episode 18, guys. But,
How long ago was that?
well, hold a sec. Oh, look, Fitzsimmons being a comedic duo. I really want to watch that now. Give me a sec.
I think I saw that.
I think everyone's seen Fitzsimmons being a comedic duo. Okay, how long did it take us to get onto Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? 7 minutes to get onto Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's not... Honestly, for us, that's not bad. No, I forgot to post episode 18.
And we still haven't talked about Star Wars yet.
I forgot. Yeah, we have. We talked about Star Wars Twitter. I forgot to post episode 18.
Which one was that? When was that supposed to come out?
I don't know. I think episode 18 was the one where we talked about how much of an impact TV's had on Star Wars. I think it was that one. But do you want to know the last podcast I posted?
Was it the Underworld one, like Bounty Hunters?
No. It was did the Scepters have a point on the 17th of June? No, or the 7th of June.
That's not that long ago.
So I posted one in
That's
2 months
ago.
2 months ago. And it was did the Scepters have a point? Because I had 2 podcasts that we recorded on my computer and I was just too lazy to publish them. So today there might be a bit of a disparity because essentially what I was doing, because our last one was quite good, which is a topic from today, which was what's our topic for today? Oh yeah, the best Star Wars opening sequences are ranking. I thought I don't really want to do that again because that was quite a good one. So essentially what I've done is we're just doing news stories. So we're recording news stories today.
You're telling them our secrets.
Hopefully going to be there publishing it. And then I'm just going to like splice whatever, the impression of the week, quote of the week, and main story onto it. So we recorded all that rest of the stuff like 3 weeks ago, but I'm just splicing it on because I can't bother to re-record it. It was quite good. So if we make references to stuff, so later on, if we make references to like stuff from earlier on the podcast that just didn't happen, it's because we recorded it like 3 weeks ago. Like there'll be no mention of Twitter in the second half of the podcast, which is what's sad.
I think it was more than 3 weeks ago.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Let's just get.
Hey, do you want to know when the last time I posted something on the Instagram was? Take a guess. May it was.
Oh,
It was 3 months ago today, the 9th of May. The 9th of May was the last 3 months ago. so useless. But when you come to my house, I'm teaching you how to do the Instagram stuff. You're gonna start doing my thumbnails, my Instagram captions, and my podcast descriptions. That's what you're gonna start doing. So I'll handle Twitter.
Am I getting paid for this?
No. If we start making money, you can get paid. In fact, you know what? On the service that does our podcast, right? Okay, it's like give it a second to load. Oh, basically, it logged me out, which is a bit rude. Basically, it's like, oh, you can have monetization. I'm like, well, I want monetization, but it's like, oh, you have to like edit a credit card and stuff. I'm like, I don't really want to edit a credit card. That's a lot of effort. So basically, we have access to monetization. But I've just been too lazy to do it. So yeah.
But you're less lazy than I am, that's for sure.
So basically, yeah. If we do start earning money, which would be like 1 pence every year, I'll go, let's say 2 pence for argument's sake. I'll go 50-50 with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're that's what you're doing, and then I'll handle Twitter, making the Instagram posts, and editing and posting. But I'm gonna need you to be like pumped with this stuff, because if it gets to like 9 p.m. on Sunday and you say I haven't done the descriptions and the thumbnail, I'm gonna be mad at you.
You're gonna be mad at me a lot.
Yeah. Well, you know me. You know I will literally come down and yell at you.
Yeah. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
You know I will yell at you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. But I hope you're actually gonna start taking an active interest, because like hopefully
I am
like
actively interested.
this is like a new era of In the HQ, where like we're making a stand. We're going big. We're hopefully getting our last couple of guests, and then we're gonna have our guest month. I haven't actually mentioned that yet, I don't think. But yeah, we're gonna have do you know when we recorded our guest show with Pete? It was in like January. We recorded our guest show with Pete in January.
Wow.
It's 8 months later. We still haven't published it.
We haven't published it.
No.
Oh god. Oh yeah, we need to get the other guests.
Yeah, we need to get the other two. Yeah, well, that's one thing I want about Twitter, because a lot of the Star Wars podcasters use Twitter more than they use Instagram. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll like actually respond on Twitter. So yeah.
Who?
The podcasters that we're gonna see if we can get on. I don't know exactly. I don't know who we're gonna try and get on yet.
I'm pretty sure they just air on you, not gonna lie.
I just don't. Because you know, like no offense to Star Wars podcasters, but like they all seem to be old. Like we're the youngest Star Wars podcasters I know. Whereas like the YouTubers all seem to be like kind of like 20 to 35, and like by the time you're like a podcast, you're kind of like 35 to 45, or like 35 onwards. Like we've done some interviews with people who are like 21. I think.
Do you mean an interview?
Not interview.
Oh, wait, what?
Not interview.
Podcast.
Podcast. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Jared, he was like 24, I think.
Yeah.
You remember Jared, right?
Yeah, I do.
But like I think a lot of people on like Star Wars podcast community seem to be like older and just don't know how to work Instagram. So yeah, that's why none of them are applying.
You think that?
I think that I'm hoping that's the case. Yeah. Well, the thing is, at least with most of them, they just haven't seen our messages. Some of them have just aired us. They've seen our messages.
I mean,
like,
it's
"No, I'm not
understandable.
applying." Yeah, I mean it is, but because we're 13 minutes in and we're just talking absolute nonsense. You want to know?
If you guys didn't know, this is a Star Wars podcast.
Yeah.
It's supposed to
By
be.
the way, I feel like if we ever set up like a network, like a podcast network, which has like lots of different podcasts on, so we'd have like we could call it. I know we could call it like the HoloNet network, Holo Table network. You can start with they have the HoloNet.
What's that?
Which is like their equivalent of like the radio. It's like radio and TV mixed. So we call it like the HoloNet podcast network. And like if we ever did that, we'd have to have one of our podcasts would have to just be me and you sitting around for an hour talking absolute nonsense. Because the only thing that stops us sitting around for an hour talking absolute nonsense is the fact that I have the show notes sitting in front of me, and if we don't get through the show notes, I'll cry. That's the only thing that stops us from sitting around for an hour talking absolute nonsense. Like, if we did that, you could talk about your new superhero. Don't talk about your new superhero, but you could talk about your new superhero.
I think it's a really good idea.
I think that's Joe. That's one of the worst.
And
ideas
it's a
we've had.
great origin story.
We are not talking about.
It has good father issues. You know, like.
Oh God. It's also not possible. It's not physically possible.
Yeah, but nothing is physically like.
Okay.
Getting...
Okay. Good point. Good point. Good point. Fair enough. It's not biologically possible. There. Ha. Boom. So I've been doing some reading of Star Wars books. I read. What did I read? I read Into the Dark. That's a High Republic book.
The Book of Boba Fett.
No, shut up, Joe. I listened to Dooku Jedi Lost, which was like it's like Dooku's origins. Or it's like it's told. I think it's told like in between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. It's like from Asajj Ventress's perspective, and she like discovers like Dooku's old journal and a load of hollow things, and it like describes Dooku's younger days and his fall to the dark side. It's actually really good. But it's like an audiobook exclusive. But it's not because you can get the script for it. But it's like better than an audiobook. So I got my Audible free trial. I scammed Amazon. I didn't because they give a free trial, but whatever. So I listened to it. It was actually pretty good. And now I'm reading the Phantom Menace novelization. You're welcome. Joe, are you still there? Yeah,
I am still here.
Yeah.
I'm listening to you. Sometimes I'm just listening to you and I'm just nodding my head like
Yeah.
I would in a normal conversation,
Yeah.
but I realize you can't really see that.
It'd be better if we could do this podcast could be like a video podcast, but like I don't really want the video podcast, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And also you don't have a webcam.
No, I don't.
No. Which kind of puts the kibosh on that. But like now you know all the novelizations apart from the novelizations for 7, 8, and 9 are legends.
Really?
Like, what?
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
No, but like the Phantom Menace novelization, which I'm currently reading, is legends.
When did it come out?
Let me just check. I've got like a second-hand copy. It's not that bad though.
Was it before Disney? or after
yeah,
Disney?
it was 1999.
Oh yeah, so that makes sense then.
Yeah, but I would have thought like if any books would survive the Legends thing, they might have kept like the novelizations in, just because the novelizations are novelizations. They're literally just telling the story of the movies. But I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Oh, and I watched the other, because you know how there are like big rumors that in Spider-Man 3, Far From Home.
Yeah.
No, No Way Home, actually. Far From Home's number 2. There's going to be like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
From like stuff
The
that
other
happened in
Spider-Man.
Loki.
No.
Yeah.
You know the other Spider-Man movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you watched them?
Yes.
The ones in the early 2000s are the ones with in the early 2010s.
Andrew Garfield. Yes, I have.
And yeah, you've watched them. Well, because using the multiverse from Loki, right? Yeah. And I saw that, I was like, oh, whoops, I haven't watched any of them. So like, I bought the Tobey Maguire number 1 on DVD. I've got that here. I was like, oh, I forgot about the rest. Damn it. And then when we went on holiday, we had Sky, and the second country thing they had like Sky, and I was like, wow, I wonder if they're on there. And I watched Tobey Maguire 2 and 3 on there. So I've watched them, and now I just need to watch Andrew Maguire, and I'm done.
Andrew Maguire.
Oh, wait, Andrew Garfield. I thought something sounded wrong there when I said it. I was like, Andrew Maguire. Is that...
Andrew Maguire.
Yeah, that's. Oh no. Yeah. I've also watched Daredevil, which I'm well proud of. That was alright.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say Daredevil was brilliant. I thought it was just kind of pretty good. No, we should probably move on because I'm rambling, and you barely said anything apart from to criticize me. Because like no new Star Wars info goes on in your life. It's worth that. I always have like stuff to report, and you're just sitting there vibing. You got next time we do a podcast, which will be on like Saturday. You've got to have something to tell me. You know?
Oh, I have something to tell you.
What do you have to tell me, Joe?
I'm seeing if I get into an F1 league today.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, guess what I'm doing later as well?
What?
This is more stuff from my Star Wars life. I would devote way too much of my time to Star Wars, don't I?
Yeah.
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 I'm buying the or hopefully buying, if I can like convince my brain that it's worth it. Which is probably
I get that.
because I'm like, I'll buy a set. I'm like, I really want the set. I really want the set. And then I go to buy it. I'm like about to click buy now, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm about to spend this amount of money.
How much is it?
Lego. Well, I'm gonna get the Mandalorian fighter, the fancy one with Bo-Katan, and I'm gonna get the new slave one. So together that's I think £95, because the Mandalorian fighter is 50, and the Boba Fett's and the slave one is 45.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for a while I'm gonna go to buy them. I'm like, I can't believe I'm buying this, but I'm gonna buy it anyway. Like I have the money, I just cut like, I really hope I'm gonna be able to fit them on my shelves. Cause I'm redoing my room, and I don't actually know if I'm gonna be able to fit them on my
Get
shelves.
the bad ones out, put them on.
Yeah, but no, but like, there are no bad Lego sets. Like they're all good, because they're all Lego. You know, like I can't just take Lego sets out of display. Like, what kind of weird thing? Why would I take a Lego set off display? That's just.
That's true.
That's I can't wrap my head around that. That's just weird. We should really move on. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry. about
move
that.
on.
Yes, so
I'm just seeing what's in the news of the week. Okay.
you're so happy, aren't you? I'm
Yeah.
happy. Right, okay. It's time for news of the week.
That's not how the Force works. Amazing. Every word of what you just said was wrong.
Many Bothans die to bring us this information.
Look, I can't hold forever. If you reach him, tell him Leia has an urgent message for him about his mother.
Good job.
Okay. So I should correct that, Joe. My apologies. Yeah, that's more accurate.
Oh no.
Is so this comes from Games Radar. EA still investing in the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order series. A sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order has been strongly hinted by a publisher at EA. On August the 4th, developer/publisher EA held a financial conference call with investors and the public at large. During the conference call, as chronicled by Nico Partners analyst Daniel Ahmed in the tweet just below, EA said that it would continue to invest in the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order franchise. I'm not going to read out that tweet because it's literally just will continue to invest in Jedi Fallen Order franchise. This is a pretty strong indicator that publisher EA and developer Respawn Entertainment are working on a sequel to the 2019 action game. In fact, it's just the latest in a very long line of hints from developers and officials that a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order is in the works. Last year, in May 2020, EA CEO Patrick Wilson referred to Jedi Fallen Order as the first title in an entirely new franchise, implying that EA sees Fallen Order as a series rather than a one-off release. Prior to that, Respawn brand strategy director Charlie Hauser told Games Radar Plus that the development team would love to continue the story of protagonist Cal Kestis if given the chance. So, it looks strongly hinted at that we are getting a Jedi Fallen Order 2, and EA have told investors and the public at large, etc., that they are continuing to invest in the Fallen Order franchise, not another game, the franchise as a whole. What do you think, Joe?
Well, I did really like Jedi Fallen Order. I completed it pretty quickly. I don't think it's gonna be a direct sequel to it. I think it's definitely gonna have Cal Kestis in it, but because it's kind of like as a franchise, I don't think it's gonna be as directly linked as just like carry on the story. I think.
Oh, sorry, no, continue.
I think there's a lot of possibilities, like with Luke and him, like
Yeah.
the future generation. But then again, at the end of it, spoiler alert, but it did come out in 2019, so
That's fine.
Oh wait, you haven't played it, have you?
I finished it. Finally.
Okay. So doesn't he destroy the holocron?
Yes.
He does.
I have no idea.
The
Literally
holocron
not a
with
clue.
all of the future like force sensitive children.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember.
Well, he does, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know how they're gonna do that. I don't know.
I think there's definitely possibility for Fallen Order 2. Now,
Yeah.
I can't remember if I've expressed my views on Fallen Order. Chances are I have. I think the premise of the game was good. I enjoyed the premise of it and the story. I just hated the play because I'm not a big gamer. I'm not a big gamer at all. So I really struggled with the length of it, and like the big boss battles, I really had a tough time getting through because for me there was a lot of like repetitiveness and doing the same thing and going here and going back to that planet and doing the same thing, and oh look, another boss fight, and oh look, I'm gonna get killed again, what a surprise, and oh yeah, no, okay, now I've got killed again, oh look, it's more of those people for me to slice. For me it was just a drag. I finished it. It took me like a year to finish it.
I mean,
because
did you
I was-
enjoy the controls and like?
I think because I found the gameplay so dull because it was so repetitive. I couldn't enjoy it. I did not enjoy the game at all
Well, I guess it makes sense then.
because I just found it so dull because it was so long and convoluted, and like something like the Battlefront 2 campaign or the Star Wars Squadrons campaign, I really enjoyed because although there were quite a lot of levels, the levels were really short. Like you got over and done with them really quickly, and there was no kind of like hanging around doing stuff. There was story, move on, next thing. Whereas Jedi Fallen Order, there was a lot of procrastination.
Yeah.
It was like, we need to make the game longer. Can't do what we're doing here. I'll just chuck in another Dathomir level. You can spend, 3 hours running around killing the Night Brothers. Hey, I was like, no, that's dull.
I mean, I kind of get what you're saying. I mean, the puzzles that you had to like figure out. I guess it kind of did drag on a bit, but I liked it.
If it hadn't been for IGN, the IGN walkthrough, I would never finish the game. Because
IGN walkthrough.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would never finish the game. It was just too long and convoluted for me. I prefer games that are just snap.
I mean, I
campaigns.
loved the like chopping up, but there was no chopping, was there? It was just kind of like scarring them. There was no arms going flying.
Yeah, if there was a Fallen Order 2, I'd definitely play it for the story. But I think one thing I would do this time is put it on like the lowest difficulty level, so I could just get through it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it was all right, but it certainly wasn't. I would not be upset at all if there wasn't a Fallen Order 2. Like, I really wouldn't care.
It's kind of harsh.
It was just a bit like, okay, can I just finish this goddamn game now, please? Well,
you're not much of a gamer, and I am
really
a gamer,
not.
so
For some reason, I decided to buy both of Knights of the Old Republic, which are famously long.
yeah.
So I'm gonna have a hell of a horrible time playing those. Yeah, that's not gonna be great.
Wait, how did Jedi Fallen Order even like run on your Xbox?
What do you mean? How did it run?
Because it's a really demanding game. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful game.
Well, I have an Xbox One S. That was absolutely fine. It wasn't.
That doesn't mean anything. Is it white?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it can display videos in
know.
4K.
I know, but what do you mean? How did it run? It was absolutely fine. It didn't. Yeah, it was fine.
Oh, your Xbox didn't explode.
No, it was fine.
Oh, okay.
I know you have a pretty low opinion of consoles, Joe, but
No, I don't.
yeah, you do.
It was just really good on PC.
Okay, next one. We're gonna keep this one short because we can kind of merge it into the next thing. Disney Plus announced the season 2 of Star Wars: The Bad Batch. This comes from obviously StarWars.com. The adventure will continue in 2022. Clone Force 99 will return for another mission. Disney Plus announced the second season of the critically acclaimed animated series Star Wars: The Bad Batch, which will launch in 2022. Fans have enthusiastically embraced the action and drama of Star Wars: The Bad Batch, and we are excited to see the Star Wars animated universe continue to expand on Disney Plus, said Michael Poole, president of Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. As a dedicated streaming home for the Star Wars franchise, we can't wait for the second season of this fan favorite animated series. the entire Lucasfilm animation team, and I would like to thank Disney Plus and our fans for the opportunity to continue telling the story of the Bad Batch, added executive producer Dave Filoni. So we're getting Bad Batch season 2, baby. I mean, I think we all knew that was coming.
Mhm.
I think it's
Definitely.
fairly obvious. But yeah, it's confirmed, and we're getting it next year, which is good.
I hope they actually go places with the story, because I mean there wasn't much story in season 1, although it was really good. It
I
was
think
just
season
like
1 was more development.
lots of cameos and like
Yeah. I think season 1 was more like setting up the universe.
sorting. Yeah.
And like,
yeah.
okay, we're going to go here. We'll show you what the Empire is doing. We're going here. We're adding this clone so we can reference him later, tell him what he's doing, show him what the Empire is doing here, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I actually missed the last 3 episodes of Bad Batch, but I've watched them now. So I've watched up to episode 15. I've got all of them. I'm so excited for the season finale, episode 16. You excited? Where do you think it's going to go?
Wait, so what happened at the end of the 15? Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were bombing Camino. Camino's
Yeah.
gone. I was like,
I told you. I remember a bit of time ago. I was like, wait, didn't the Empire like do something bad to Camino? But I mean, maybe I can just tell the future. Maybe I was just thinking about the future. 'cause-
Yeah. Well, they showed all like the empty halls and stuff, and then they showed the Empire bombing. Like, I actually got a bit emotional because like we've been seeing Camino since what 2001, 2002. Alexa, when did Star Wars: Attack of the Clones come out?
2.
Alexa, shut up. Yeah, oh yeah, because
That's me. It came out in 2002.
I was thinking Avengers Sith came out in 2004, not 2005.
No, it came out in 2005.
Yeah, so we've been seeing Camino for the last, what, 19 years. And it's just gone now. It's like, oh, that's so sad.
I mean, it's just one part of Camino.
I know. But still. You know what kind of shocked me? Amiga is older than the Bad Batch. She was there when the Bad Batch were created.
Well, yeah, because she doesn't have the...
She doesn't have the
Yeah,
aging.
that's actually...
So, like, she's seen the whole thing. If she's, like...
So if she's older, then she must be, like, 11 then.
Yeah, I'd say she's probably... Because we were originally saying she was kind of, like, 8 or 9.
Yeah.
She must be 11 or 12.
Mm.
Because I'd say the Bad Batch... Because that's a hard one. Because she seems to remember them being created. But I wouldn't say most of them are kind of young. I wouldn't say any of them are younger than kind of...
No, I don't think
20.
she'd remember them being created. Wait, did you say she remembered them being created?
No, but I don't know, the way she said it.
I mean, she just knows that they were there because she's like a special
I
one.
guess so.
They're special.
Well, she said, I was there when you were created. But I guess maybe Nala Say said, oh, you were there when they were created.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that means Amiga's a lot older than we thought, actually. Which is cool. Also fully confirms that she doesn't have the aging. Which means I think she could make an appearance in Book of Boba Fett, which is awesome. It was interesting that Crosshair removed his inhibitor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, Crosshair's evil now. He's like, what evil?
Well, he's not as evil as he was before. I mean, he does have feelings for his old group because he was giving them a choice.
I was glad to see the return of like the metal discs. That was
Metal
so satisfying.
discs?
Yeah, you know where he shoots a metal disc and like rebounds.
Oh yeah.
I was excited to see the return of that. That was cool. It was really nice to see in episode 15 see the Bad Batch fighting again in that arena.
Yeah, it gave memories of season 3, episode 1 of Clone Wars.
Yes.
With like the cadets.
Yeah, Clone Cadets. It's a good episode. And also with Gregor, of course. I forgot.
Oh yeah.
It's like because at first Gregor seemed kind of normal, and then when they met him, like, a few seconds later, he did his little laugh, and I'm like, he's crazy. We have crazy Gregor. He did the laugh.
At first, I didn't know who it was. I was thinking it might have been Cody, but nah.
No. Well, I already knew it was Gregor because I've had the poster downloaded on my phone for a week.
Well, and also, was this episode 13 where there was this person who looked like Vizago? I was convinced it was Vizago.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. They could have made him Vizago.
Yeah, you know I have a whole folder on my Google Photos for posters. I have it's ridiculous. I have
I didn't know that.
How many posters do I have on there? Wait, let me check. I've got some more there that I haven't added. Bear with me 1 second.
You have a Black Widow one, don't you? You have my Black Widow one.
No, I mean I don't know. I don't mean like I have your Black Widow one, but I mean like online posters. I have 137 posters on my phone, which is slightly ridiculous. I've got like all the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Loki, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, The Bad Batch, What If, what'd you call it? I've got the Eternals one. I've got all of the Mandalorian, all the May the 4th ones. I've got a ridiculous amount on there. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. Yeah, I'm so excited for episode 16. Where do you think it's going to go?
Moff Tarkin, maybe.
Yes. Sorry.
When he did
the fire ready.
When ready.
I got chills. I got actual chills, mate. I was like, oh god, that. This actually, it's so scary when he says that. He said it 3 times. I'm like, oh god, some people about to get killed. Moff Tarkin's cool.
I actually don't know how they're surviving. Like the whole.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're surviving.
I want to know what they end up doing with Nala Say and the cloning.
Yeah.
Because they said, they said, is the cloning facility secure? Have they got stuff for cloning? And also, Nala Say is like, cloning specialist. Will this tie into the cloning that we saw on The Mandalorian?
That's what I was about to say, yeah.
Do you think it will? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, I think it absolutely will.
Because there's so much connecting stuff with the Bad Batch. They get like characters and stuff. I mean,
Dave Filoni is really good at connecting stuff.
Yeah.
He's really good at like that that thing that Marvel does, where you see something in like one movie, it's completely irrelevant, and then suddenly it shows up later in another movie that you weren't expecting. You're like, oh,
yeah.
Dave Filoni's really good at that kind of like those connecting the dots and making it expanded.
I think all the cloning is to do with Palpatine.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I think that because we've been told that the Mandalorian is going to tie into the First Order and stuff, and we know that the way Palpatine came back is through cloning.
Well, no, he came back from transferring his life force,
just his essence. But then the reason he was so weak on Exegol and the reason he was there so long was because he was trying to figure out, like, make a clone body that could support the sheer amount of force.
Make a clone with midichlorian count.
Yeah, because his problem was that he kept making these clones, and then he would transfer his essence into the clones. But because he was so powerful, he had so much raw power, the host bodies couldn't like contain it, and they started to like degrade. Which is why in the White Skull his face is so like decrepit, because that clone body he was in just couldn't handle his raw force power. So yeah, and then I think it might. Because I know like the whole Palpatine coming back thing is one of the problems you have with episode 9. But if they have kind of like cloning stuff all the way from the Bad Batch and like tie it all in and stuff and use stuff, evidence all the way from the Bad Batch to back up this cloning thing, would you like be more okay with it, do you think?
I mean, my problem with it is the Anakin not being the chosen one.
What?
It's because the translate messes up, because he didn't really kill Palpatine.
That's not what the chosen one prophecy specifies. That through him.
I know it was through him, through Rey and stuff, through his legacy. But I don't like that. I just don't like that.
You don't like it not being personally Anakin. I get that. I think.
Yeah.
But I think it's still Anakin still very much qualifies as the chosen one.
Yeah.
Because like. Through Anakin and through him weakening Palpatine and through his legacy and stuff, Palpatine was still defeated. Like I get what you're saying, but like I know I feel like it still works.
Yeah, it works, but I feel like it cheapens it a bit.
Yeah. I think we should probably bring this section to an end now. So, yeah. Let's go on now to Impression of the Week.
Missy called Jar Jar Binks. Missy, your humble servant.
Now let's leave your wife out of this. There is no need for such impropriety among thee.
Okay.
What do we want to do for Impression of the Week this week? Let's do something fun. Let's do something different. What do you think? What do you think?
There's nothing really to do, if I'm being honest.
Well, should we do it from a TV show? What TV show do you want to do? Let's do something from Matt. Should we do just like The Mandalorian?
Yeah, I've actually been rewatching The Mandalorian recently.
So have I actually.
Yeah.
I'm only on like episode 3 because I haven't barely any time this week.
On episode 5.
Should we just do like this is the way. This is the way.
Sorry, who is that?
That's Mando. This is the way. I gotta get me one of those.
Yeah, sure, that's Mando, yeah.
This is the way. Go on, do your Mando impression then. Bet it's not better than mine.
No, it definitely isn't better than yours. But...
Precisely. Go on.
Hello, Governor, this is the way.
I love that from you, mate. I love it.
That's pretty good.
That was really good. Hello, Governor. All right.
Hello, Governor.
All right, Governor. We're kind of running out of impressions to do. It kind of sucks.
Exactly.
Yeah. Maybe we should cut the section for a bit. I don't know.
It gets its charm back.
Yeah. Going to the week time.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Do or do not. There is no try. He is the chosen one. This is the way.
You are the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy this and not join them!
The Force will be with you, always.
Right. What about quote of the week? What do you think? Do we have to do Star Wars quotes of the week? Or...
No, we do not.
So could we just do like glorious purpose? I'm Loki of Asgard. I'm born with glorious purpose.
Yes, we can.
Yay!
We can only do this when there's nothing Star Wars going out though.
Yeah. Wait. I'm Loki of Asgard and I'm burdened with glorious purpose. Come on, that's like the best quote. I'm Loki of Asgard and I am burdened with glorious purpose. Boom. Loki's kind of sexy. We love Loki.
We do.
He's actually like the goat. She's more like the snake, but still. Loki's awesome. Thor Ragnarok era Loki is like the coolest.
Yeah, actually I don't know. Who do you like better, TVA Loki or?
I like both
Thor
of them.
Ragnarok.
I like both of them kind of equally. They're both really cool. I like Thor Ragnarok Loki kind of maybe slightly more just because I love Thor Ragnarok. He's got more kind of like a vibe to him. I love his helmet in Thor Ragnarok and like his outfit. It's really cool. But I like both of them. I like both of them a lot.
They're both a bit different, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess it's time to get on to our main section.
You will be a Jedi, I promise.
For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic.
Show me again the power of the darkness.
The shroud of the dark side has fallen. Begun the Clone War, and I am your father.
And
I'm all the Jedi.
It's time to let old things die.
you are the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy this and not join them!
So, our main section this week, we are going through and deciding what we think the best Star Wars opening sequences are. So I think, well, I'm just going to discuss them all briefly. So first, we're just going to go first. So we'll obviously put this at number 1 because it's the only one we've got so far. And that is The Phantom Menace. So, Phantom Menace. The opening scene in Phantom Menace is pretty decent, actually. I mean, so you've got, because it's like the first time we see kind of Qui-Gon and young Obi-Wan, and they come to the Trade Federation thing, and try to settle a trade dispute.
Yeah.
Which is always fun.
So interesting.
It's a decent one, just not much happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of different from the original 3.
It's kind of different from all of them. They essentially just because a lot of them they start with like action, and here they fly to.
They're like
they fly to like a trade federation thing, and sit down to discuss a blockade.
Yeah.
And then I mean they nearly get killed, which is a bit exciting, but that happens like 5 minutes in. I think that really sets the tone for the Phantom Menace, because the Phantom Menace is like it's literally about trade disputes and taxation. Like that literally just.
I mean, you know, all of the beginnings of the movies, they kind of set the tone of what the whole movie is going to be about.
Yeah.
This is no different, but I mean,
it's kind of.
A lot of people would find it more boring, I think, because of its politics.
Yeah, but it's not like it's exciting politics like the Clone Wars kind of era politics. It's like tax and trade.
Yeah.
It's like boring politics.
Yeah.
So Phantom Menace is okay, I guess, just not brilliant. Next, we have Attack of the Clones. I quite like the I think it's better than the Phantom Menace. Do we think Attack of the Clones is better than the Phantom Menace in terms of opening sequence? I think because it's really nice because you get that lovely shot of Coruscant.
Yeah.
You get the Nubian starfighters and the Nubian ship, and it just comes down to Coruscant.
And then you get right into it. You get the explosion straight away, don't you?
And you get like the assassination attempt, and and like, oh my god, Padme's ship there. It's like the Nubian ship design is the nicest design.
Oh, it's called the Nubian. I don't know why.
It's just the nicest design. It's so aesthetic. It's just, I love it. Like the chrome and everything, so good. And then you just get these lovely shots of Coruscant and them coming through the clouds. I think it's a pretty decent one. So we're gonna say it's above.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely above. Yeah.
So AOTC. Now I have a feeling this next one might just about be above. Revenge of the Sith. Classic Star Wars opening sequence.
Boy.
It's you go for the Revenge of the Sith opening sequence. It's like the Battle of Coruscant is slightly wasted. Like I felt like we could have been shown more of the Battle of Coruscant with like, you know, all the ships and the starfighters zooming around and stuff. Like we could have been shown a bit more of the actual battle, because most of what we're shown of it is like following Anakin and Obi-Wan into the Invisible Hand where they rescue Center. Like I would have liked to have been shown a bit more of the actual battle, but it's so good. And the way
it also would have been nice to have seen the Ahsoka bit of it, but
yeah.
You know.
And Ahsoka didn't really exist then.
Yeah, I know.
But the way they just come in over the Venator, and they start sweeping around.
Getting straight into the battle. It's definitely, I'd say definitely above the 2 before. It just goes up and up and up.
Yeah. So we should thought this 3 because that's number 2. Number 3. God, by the end of it, I'm going to be like relettering the entirety of this thing. I didn't really think this through. Kind of like where to get as we go. So next, Solo. Solo one's decent, I think. It doesn't start in space like the rest of them. It's kind of like a speeder chase.
Mm-hmm.
And you get kind of like a real sense, again, like with Phantom Menace, like a real sense of the movie and like how Alden Ehrenreich is portraying Han Solo, which I like. I really do like.
You're getting right into his character straight away, you know.
You're really kind of into it, and with the you know, with him taking the coaxium and kind of like running around and nicking the speeder, and him like putting his dice on the speeder. I like it a lot. So I don't think it's better than Revenge of the Sith, personally. What do you think?
No, I was about to say you. And also you see like the beginning of the Empire.
Yes, yeah. So not better than Revenge of the Sith, are we saying?
But I'd say better than the Phantom Menace.
Definitely better than I think it's better than Attack of the Clones, personally. I'm kind of 50-50 between them.
I kind of like Attack of the Clones,
I don't know. It's a hard one. Things we can't do it like the 0.5s like we did on our like.
Yeah, I think. Is there an even button?
No. Should we do rock paper scissors?
All right, rock paper scissors.
So you're for Attack of the Clones, I'm for Solo.
All right, yeah.
And so we do rock paper scissors and then say what we've got at the same time.
Okay.
If we just say what we're choosing now, so we say 3, 2, 1, say what you're choosing.
Yeah.
Have a second to think about what you're going to choose. Okay.
Best to one, just one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Paper.
Scissors.
Damn it. I thought you were gonna be one of those people that took like rock the first time.
That's offensive.
You're welcome. Okay. So right, okay, fine. But remember that means I have to get my way next time. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Next, Rogue One. Rogue One's good. I like the Rogue One.
Let me think about it. What was it? Oh, wait.
With Krennic. And then coming down onto the grass.
Oh,
the
yeah.
And then you see them do that like dramatic walk across.
Yeah.
See the bit that gets me like every time I watch that scene, because they go past the planetary rings, and like you see the planetary rings on the screen, and like what the hell are those? It's like my DVD glitching, and then it pans out and you see it's the rings.
Yeah.
That gets me every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that scene, and it sets up Krennic so nicely, and they just like it's so good, so good. Yeah, it's a really nice scene. And you get the Death Troopers and everything. Definitely better than Attack of the Clones, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the best apart from Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, so putting that as second so far. This is actually kind of fun because like we're not judging it on like how much we like the movie at all.
Yeah, just
we're very much judging it because like if we're just doing it in like relation to how much we like the movie, something like I think it would be a very different list. Because we're doing it like solely based on like the first 2 minutes, it makes it so much nicer.
Yeah.
Next we have the classic, like the out and out classic, one of the most famous shots in the entirety of cinema. The opening of A New Hope.
Yeah.
Like every time I watch that, I'm still just like I know there are the better ones, but I'm still just like, oh my god, this is just so classic. It's so classic. It's so good.
I know what you mean.
Like,
but the thing is, are we being subjective? Or...
I know. No, we're not. I don't think. I think we are.
I mean,
we're going on like how we feel about it.
Okay.
Like we're not going on like has it got like technical act like we were trying to be. We're not going like we were trying to be with the rankings. We're going on like how good is it?
Well, if we're doing this, then I definitely think it's tops all of the others.
I think so too.
Yeah,
just because
sure.
Like maybe it's not the best and maybe it's not the most interesting, but it sets up so much.
I think Revenge of the Sith is the most interesting, but this is
it's just the most classic. It's just oh my god, I love it because it you know every time you watch it, it's like it's the entry into the whole Star Wars universe. It's the scene that started it all. It's.
Yeah, precisely.
And it's one of the most famous shots in the entirety of cinema. It's and like you always remember like here, when you hear people talk about first time I went to New Hope, in the cinema back in 1977, like seeing the first shot and knowing that the movie was going to be special. Like people always just talk about it. It's one of them things. One of them things. Next, one of okay one, I guess. Empire Strikes Back.
It's a much different style of a movie.
Yeah, but you know my thoughts on Empire Strikes Back. It's okay. It's fine. Nothing particular. Yeah, I think the opening sequence, but obviously, as we know, we're not judging from the movie at all. We're judging from the opening minutes, so the rest of the movie doesn't really count. So I cannot let my feelings get in the way there. But I think the opening sequence is a bit nothingy. Like it's just like a it's a kind of rocket sort of thing landing on a nice planet and a probe popping out and then flying away. Like nothing really happens. It's not setting up much. It's not like gripping. Like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Is so and so gonna die? You know, it just kind of it exists.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want to put it?
I mean, if you're just taking it purely, I don't really think it's that good, but it suits the movie.
Yeah, I think we are. Yeah.
I think above Phantom Menace, and that's
yes. I don't think it's better than Solo.
Yeah.
7. It just it kind of exists. Next we have maybe another slightly more shaky one, Return of the Jedi. Don't get like, you know I love Return of the Jedi. You know it's my favorite Star Wars TV.
Mm-hmm.
But the opening sequence is good, but it's just kind of like Vader flying from a ship into the.
It's kind of
Death
evil,
Star.
you know. It's just
It
a
is
different
evil
tone.
though. You get the Imperial March, which I like.
Yeah.
And you get to see the half-built Death Star, and like Vader has this sort of possession, and then you see if, like him talking to Moff Jod. Yes, I know that Moff's name. In fairness, it's because I have a character encyclopedia that I've read like 500 times, not because I'm just that nerdy. And he talks to Moff Jod about the Emperor coming, and we're like, oh, we're gonna get the Emperor. It's good. I do like it. But it's not much happens. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the slightly more action-packed one.
I mean,
it's not very memorable.
Yeah.
I think. And I think opening sequences, stuff like this need to be more memorable. What do you think?
I'd say it's better than Empire Strikes Back.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Better than Solo? It's a hard one. It's just so they're just so different. A lot of them.
It's hard to be objective with it.
It is. Because I feel kind of weird about putting Return of the Jedi like not.
I feel like it's because it's the last. It was the last movie, and it's like. I'm gonna say it's above Solo.
It's above Solo, but not better than Attack of the Clones. I think it's slightly better than Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
I still think Solo's better than Attack of the Clones, but you know. A deal's a deal.
See, now that I think about it, I'd say that Solo's better than Attack of the Clones.
I think that's a good decision.
Yeah.
So at the moment we have A New Hope is number 1, Vengeance is number 2, Rogue One is number 3, Return of the Jedi is number 4, Solo is number 5, Attack of the Clones is number 6, The Empire Strikes Back is number 7, and The Phantom Menace is number 8. Now I think we're getting on to ones that maybe might slightly more consistent. I think the sequels are more consistent with their opening sequences. I think they're all pretty good. Force Awakens is the beginning of Star Wars after 10 years. It's the new era of Star Wars. It's the the opening of this whole new era. And I think it does a good job. I think it does a very good job. It sets up the First Order very nicely, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We see Kylo Ren, who's awesome in this. It sets up Poe. It sets up the search for Luke Skywalker. And they're just cool action, And obviously civilians getting slaughtered, which is always fun.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of similar to... what should I call it? Empire Strikes Back, but it's just more action-packed.
I think I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And also because Force Awakens is like my comfort movie. Like I don't think it's necessarily the best, but like it's just so nostalgic for me because like it was this like new era of Star Wars.
I think I know what you mean by that. Yeah.
It's just like I watched things from a new Force Awakens. I'm like, because I wasn't like a massive Star Wars fan. Like I liked it, but it was just kind of like a hobby back then, and just coming. It was like, okay, this is nice. Yay, new Star Wars movie. This is fun. This is nostalgic. It's kind of like new. It was the new era of Star Wars in my life. There's just something special, and I know whenever I see that opening sequence, we're getting into a fun movie that I can depend on The Force Awakens. It's just I like it. It's fun.
Because I mean, when I was younger, going to the cinema and then just the new Star Wars movie that was towards like 2015.
2015,
I know.
6 years ago. God, makes me feel old. But it's like, but it reminds me of a time like of like simpler Star Wars, like before, like it was my era of Star Wars, but it was my era of Star Wars before the politics got involved. Before you'd have you'd see, oh yeah, tons of people hated this movie, or you'd see like, all your friends dislike it, like you had with the Last Jedi. Like Last Jedi, I was still kind of oblivious, but like I knew loads of people hated it. I knew it was really controversial. Like Force Awakens was just without the politics, and this just kind of symbolizes the thrusting into this. And I know we're not judging the movie. I know the movie should have no bearing on it, but I think it just it symbolizes kind of thrust into it, which I like. Makes me happy. I think it's better than Return of the Jedi. I don't think it's better than Rogue One, so I think we should place it there. What do you think? Okay, well, let's start. Higher than Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Higher than Solo.
Yeah.
Higher than Return of the Jedi.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Higher than Rogue One.
No.
No. Okay. Cool.
What do you think?
That's exactly where I'd put it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly where I'd put it. Again, with another one that perfectly sets up the movie, as in like the tone of the movie and stuff. Last Jedi. I think it's fun. I think it's interesting. I like the whole quip between Poe and Hux. I think the scene with Poe taking on the Dreadnought is awesome. I think like the evacuation is pretty cool. We get to see a lot of Leia being like kind of studious and stuff. I think it's a very, very strong opening sequence. I think it's fun. I think it's exciting. I think it gets you into the movie. And however you may dislike the following movie the movie that comes, I think the opening sequence is strong. And also the scene with Poe and Hux is like one of my favorite in the entire saga.
I mean, I think if we're just talking about the starter of it and not like the battle that follows, just like the beginning of the battle with Poe and stuff, I think it's actually really strong.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is that Last Jedi battle with the bombers,
I didn't like it.
I like it because like technically in terms of like fighting skills, it's dreadful. Like in terms of like you never do that in an actual battle, but it just like makes like for a cool scene. With like the shots of the TIE fighters and the bombers flying towards each other, and it's silent, and then suddenly booming, everything's exploding, and people are shooting each other, and then you get the whole thing with the bombs slowly dropping, and I think that battle is really important because it has, like, if you've read Resistance Reborn, which you haven't, but you see the effects of that battle on Poe in there, and that's like what makes him the person he is as a Rise of Skywalker. Like he feels really guilty for the people that died there, he deeply regrets it. And I think so that battle is important in terms of like Poe's development, and like the downfall of the Resistance. So I think it's an important battle, and I think it like aesthetically it's really cool. Practically it's dreadful, but aesthetically it's cool. But yeah, I think the Last Jedi opening sequence is really strong. So
I would agree.
I put my personal opinion. I'd say it's higher than Rogue One.
Yeah. I would as well.
So is this the first time that Last Jedi's been like anything above like bottom 5 for you?
Yes, it is.
Like voluntarily pushed it at something above bottom 5. Like it's been, it was like what was like third when we did our rankings or something. But that's because I made you put it there. If it had been up to you, it would have been like 11th. But yeah, this is the first time you voluntarily put something like the Last Jedi up there, and I'm proud of you for it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so nice. I still can't quite believe it's up there. Are you feeling okay? Do you want me to call an ambulance? Feeling a bit giddy after that?
Yes, unfortunately, I am in my conscious state of mind. But
very good, young sir, very good. Now, this one, which has got to be, I think, if we're going on if we're discounting nostalgia and stuff, I think could well be the best opening sequence in the entirety of the saga, The Rise of Skywalker. Kylo Ren on Mustafar going around slaughtering people like an absolute boss.
It is pretty good, yes.
And like the way we come in, you see the TIE fighters and like the first order Star silhouettes against Mustafar, and you're like, we're going back to Mustafar. And then you see like Kylo Ren turning around, and he just goes and slaughters everyone brutally in a way that only Kylo Ren could. And it just sets him up so well, and it's so brutal and so dark, and just I love it. So good. personally, for me, it's better than Revenge of the Sith. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna say it. Personally, for me, that's where I put it. I definitely think it's top 3. I think it's a really strong scene. But not talking about rankings or anything, but what do you think of the scene?
I definitely think I completely agree with you. And I was watching it, I loved it. I loved it.
Mm. It's really
But
short.
is it above Revenge of the Sith?
I don't know. It's a hard one. It is a hard one.
I'm gonna have to say no, even though it is really good.
I personally think it is. I think
I feel like they're both different.
It could have something to do with Kylo Ren being my favorite character, and this like really display of him. So I think maybe I'm slightly biased because of that. I would definitely say it is. You maybe say it's not. Do you want to rock paper scissors again?
I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
Cool. Right. Okay. So we're going 3, 2, 1, and then say what we're doing.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, scissors.
Scissors.
Ah. Okay. Try again.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, scissors.
Scissors. Okay.
Right. Okay. 3, 2, 1, paper.
Paper.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, rock.
Scissors.
Yes.
No.
I'm so sorry, Joe. I'm not at all.
I mean, honestly, I don't really mind that much because it's a really good scene. I'm not gonna.
Like they're both kind of on par with each other. Like I'd happily watch either of them. But for the sake of the ranking, we've got to have. I'll always remember from that Rise of the Skywalker well, you see like Kylo Ren stab someone and then turn around. It's just, and you see his face and just like, oh, my man, you need to shave in some deodorant. Yeah. But yeah, wow, well done us. We actually kind of agreed there. I'm proud of us. Go team.
It only took like 4 rounds of rock paper scissors.
It took two. Yeah, in the last one, we only did rock paper scissors twice. Right. So our order in 11th place. So this is worst to best. 11th place is The Phantom Menace. 10th place, The Empire Strikes Back. 9th place, Attack of the Clones. 8th place, Solo. 7th place, Return of the Jedi. 6th place, The Force Awakens. 5th place, Rogue One. 4th place, The Last Jedi. 3rd place, Revenge of the Sith. 2nd place, The Rise of Skywalker. 1st place, A New Hope. Sound good?
Yes, it indeed does.
Cool. Well done, us.
Cool.
I'm proud of us. So, yeah, it's a good podcast. Well done. So this will be coming out on the 25th. So sorry, you guys. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to us on. It really helps us out. And yeah, we'll see you. I'm going on holiday. So we won't be back on for a while. Joe, when are you going on holiday?
Actually, I'm not even too sure if I am going on holiday because of, COVID restrictions and such.
Yeah.
But if I was, I would be going on the 14th and I'd be coming back.
Right, so yeah, so I'm going on holiday then as well.
Will I be 2 weeks?
Yeah. So we should. Yeah, I'm on holiday then as well, so we should be okay. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to us on. Don't forget to follow our Instagram at ITRHQ.
It really helps us
subscribe to
out.
my YouTube channel. Yes, it does. Ashram Productions. Thank you so much for listening. See you next week. May the force be with you.
May the force be with you too.